Well, hello and welcome to my shop. Today is November 29th, 2023. Just about exactly 5 years ago, this radio left my bench. Sat in my house here and there for a few years, and then I sold it off to a friend for next to no money, and eventually he called me up and said, you know, I finally got around to trying that radio. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So he brought it back. And here it is. Does it work? Does it not work? I'm going to find out. I'm going to find out by literally plugging it in and trying it out. Now, of all these radios that I've worked on, and I've worked on quite a few hundred anyway, I've only had one come back to me. And it was one, a fellow, as a big one, the guy got it home, tried it, didn't work, brought it back, and would you believe it? A tube had failed in the interim. And that's what... Which one of these is the antenna? I don't see any markings here. Oh yes, A and G right underneath them. We're going to put the A on the A. We're going to leave the G hanging off for a while. I find sometimes you connect these and it helps, and sometimes it doesn't. So just leave it off for now. Is there anything else we need to do? I'm going to have to go and make sure the antenna is switched on. Here. Let's just take a look at this now. We have tuning. Oh, feels nice. The pointer's dragging a little bit back there. The pointer's on a bit of an angle. Tone control. Volume. There's two bands here. How do you switch bands? Okay, so down here it says broadcast or BC and shortwave here. These are stations. And would this be for phono input? Doesn't look like it, does it? I don't see any place to plug a phono in here. This is the button that's depressed right now. I wonder if it's just a simple matter he never pushed this button or this button, and that was it. Let's put it back this way. There's the on. This must be the off switch. So this is off. That's what's going on. This is on. Any one of these will turn it on, I bet. Broadcast, shortwave, and the rest. Okay, I think I'm trained. I'm ready. I'm going to stop the video for a moment and go turn the antenna on. Okay, here we go. So with this supposed off button depressed, volume down. Now we can watch right away dim bulbs here. Go up just a bit higher. You just straighten up there. Keep your eye on the bulbs. Here we go. Okay, so you see nothing happening here. Bulb's not coming on. Switch is off. I'm now going to switch it on. Broadcast. And there go the bulbs. I think the problem was they never pushed these, or he never pushed these buttons. Let's find out. Is it lit up? Did it light up? So hard to see in here. Yep, it's lit up. Not very bright though. Okay, now I'm in the dark here. There we are. Let's keep going in the dark. Turn it up. I hear a buzz. Okay, so we're connected, are we? We're not. Okay, antenna is switched on to here. Turn it up quite a bit.
And I get to experience the valley, which is incredible down there. The wildlife is incredible. student Artiona's been there a few times.
Like for me, I live around here, so like having a science center, it's like I call them like lots. There's like educational, and also my friends and everyone has been there. It's like kind of sad if it moves and stuff.
The head of Infrastructure Ontario will lay out the business case for moving the Ontario Science Centre at 11 this morning. At Don Mills in Eglinton, Kevin Meisner, City News.
City News Time 9:36. An organized auto theft raid.
I'm waiting for them to identify the station. I think it's 7:40.
News conference this morning where officers detailed what they're calling Project Memphis, resulting in the recovery.
When you look at what we did in the past government set levels at
680.
people were comfortable with that. And I get it. We need people in this country. I keep going back to, well, if you actually
Full volume.
need an affordable time.
610.
Where, like he was driving at that. He was
590.
driving at, hey, like with patience, the implication I think is, hey, he's being patient, not benching you right now.
Offhand, I don't think there's any work here at all. I think I never instructed him. He just took the radio.
This out of hand and you're moving forward. And I thought, no, he's right.
Low volume, that's for sure. Let's give it a shot on broadcast band. So, or shortwave band. So we'll go here. Now this is a shortwave band, goes all the way from 6 up to 18. So tricky to tune on here. No volume. No nothing. So we get something right around here. Fading out. Full volume. Well, we could consider that a problem. This is by far, probably by far the strongest station available on here right now. Can we find another? Probably not. That station's so weak on this radio, everything else is going to be below the line. So you could say this is dead. We're running this radio on 86 volts. That's not enough. Let's put it on full. That's why the lighting was so dull, Jim. It's also why the volume's so low. Let's go back. Am I that true? Where'd he go? Well, we got almost no more volume. So it works fairly well on broadcast. Now, let's check that again. Now I got it on full power. I'm going to turn it up about halfway to hear the noise, so it does seem a little weak. Yeah, turn up full to get it to the room volume where you could sit anywhere in a room and listen to it. So I think the output is weak. Could be for a number of reasons. And of course, tubes would be the first one to suspect. So I think we got to run the tubes through the tube tester, find out what the story is. Now I may have done this 5 years ago, and I just really can't remember, and I'm not about to go back and look at the old video. What do we got here? We've got a rectifier, output tube. This is probably the detector tube, the IF amplifier tube. This will be the mixer tube, and there's no RF tube in this radio. Okay, just in case, let me just put the ground on for a moment. No difference. I don't know. Why did I do that? I don't know. Got quite a piece of paper here. Showing the tube layout and some dates. 1934 is the latest date on this, but this doesn't look that old. Okay, I'm gonna have to go through and test the tubes and find out if somebody's weak here. Good. Okay. Okay, first tube we're gonna do is the output tube, a 6F6, a big old one. Let's just double check everything here. 6F6, 6.3 filament voltage. 2 on the signal level, 46H. On the bias setting, 27345, 27345. I already set this in case you're wondering how come it's correct. 0610, 34 on the cheater control, F. This is actually the meter sensitivity, but I like to think of it as a cheater control, okay? 830 is what we would expect. 830 is about here, where my finger's pointing. There we go. So of course if this tube is weak, the output from the radio would be weak. This is the tube that's responsible for driving the speaker. Okay. Give it just a moment more. You can see the heater going in the tube here. Okay, check for shorts. Watching the meter now. Nope. No shorts. So again, this should come up to 830. That's 1,000 there. So 830 is about here. If it doesn't reach my finger, we should get a new tube. Here we go. Oh, well, doesn't that tell the story right there? Okay, so we're going to get another 6F6 and stick it in there. I've got quite a few of these, I think. Okay, supposedly there's a bag with 8 of them in here. These would be previously tested tubes, proven to be functional but not necessarily good. Reading bag number 2. That's what I'm after. So these are what I call combo bags. You can see it's got bag 3 written right up here. Bag 2 rather, written up here. Bag 2, I write a bag 2, bag 3, bag 4, then I keep track of what's in each of these bags. This is not the best way to store tubes by any means, but it's a good way to store them so you can find them. What's that doing in there? Thank you. No idea what that's doing in there. Okay, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch it. No, don't say that. Grab this long one here. 6N7. Not long. Grab another long one. 6F6. Let's get another one just in case. Another long tube. 6N7. How about that guy? 6F6. Okay, we got 2 6F6s here. Let's try them out. Sorry, buddy, but I think you're done. I think you're done, mister. Okay, double checking to make sure I got a 6F6 here. Yes, definitely. What's up? Am I putting in the wrong spot? Yes. Yes would be the answer. Oh, thank you, Mr. Tube Tester Designer. As I tried putting that in the wrong socket, I could have succeeded. I guess there's just no key opening in this socket. Okay, first 6F6, possible replacement. Checking for shorts. No. Oh, there's a short showing up. So this is on position number 1, and sometimes there's a note in here about an expected short, but there's no note here, so they don't expect the short to appear. Some tubes, a short will appear because of the way they're designed. It's not a defect. Well, I don't think we dare put this one in. How did that pass my earlier test? Oh, this one's missing its missing its key. Kind of see where the key was. Danger, danger. Hope I got it right. It's pretty rusty on the outside. Oh, we're stuck on number 1 right now. Let's go back. Give it a moment. Okay. It's going up ever so slightly also. Look at, actually it's going up as it warms up. Could be I tested these tubes in a different tube tester and this didn't appear when I did the short test on the other tube tester. That's pretty small stuff. That's odd. That's odd that 2 of them would show up like that. This makes me wonder. Wonder. Let's get another one. 6AG7. 6AG7. 12A6. 6F6. Here we are. The key. So even though my tubes are pre-tested, I really only do like a go, no-go test before I put them into my registered collection. I have a registry of all the tubes that I've put through tube testers. Somehow I've acquired a stupidly large number of tubes. So we're here on 1 again. I left it on 1. Now it seems to take a little bit of time for the short to show up. So let's give this just a bit of time. Okay, that's enough time. There we go. 1. Okay, so the needle went right down on 1. So could be a characteristic of these tubes that they tend to develop a leak. I don't know. But okay, back over here to the tube test position. We are now going to test it. Remember 6F6 was something like 830 up in this area. There we go. She's a winner. Okay, we're going to put this tube in the radio. And we're going to try the radio again. Okay, Mr. Radio, you have another chance to demonstrate your fantasticness. Yeah, is that a word? Fantasticness. Okay, so we're going to give it the full supply, volume down, band, broadcast band, antenna, 1 wire connected. More volume.
Les gens ne se sentent pas coupables de manger des biscuits de ma tante Jeannette.
I'm pretty sure there's more volume there.
Il y a des choses que les gens ignorent quand on se met à bouffer du sucre de façon.
That's 820, the funny channel from Hamilton. Look at the darn interference there again. Wish I knew what it was. Okay. So, radio's working. Sounds pretty good, really.
The gas will rise a penny at midnight tonight to $1.48.9.
Great. Okay, let's go on the shortwave band. It turns right up full. You hear no... I would expect to hear a loud hiss even coming up a third of the way. Virtually nothing. Something not right here? Am I getting anything now? There he is.
Now they come and to attack Judah. Syrian king at the time, his name is Sennacherib.
If that's louder, not by much. This is full.
And
So
conquering 46 cities of Judah.
that
And he
sound
mentions
distorted?
Hezekiah. He says, Hezekiah, the king, I made like a bird in a cage in his capital. For some reason, Sennacherib
Well, that sounds distorted to me.
didn't conquer Judah. He didn't and it's amazing because this empire has come from Syria, right? Iraq, and it conquered
Jimmy.
Lebanon and Syria, the northern kingdom of Israel, down the coast. They're heading to Egypt.
More volume for sure.
Somehow, little Judah.
Full volume, no hiss. No atmospheric hiss. No other stations. Thought I heard something there. When I listen really hard, I start hearing things that aren't there. Told the doctor about it, but well, she's pretty dead. I don't think this is realistic. I think there's still something more that can be done to this radio. What we should do is continue with the tube testing, I think. One done so far. You know, a possibility is even low B plus throughout the whole radio from a bad rectifier tube, which I haven't tested. Maybe we'll just go work through them one by one, working our way back through the radio and see what we get. So the next one will be this one. This one here. Okay, here we go. This is a 6Q7. That's a grid cap. 6Q7, two tests. First test, 6.3, signal level 1. The bias is set to 23, I had 33. 23L. 27300, 27300, and 0610, 0610, 30 on the meter setting, F for the plate setting. Good show. So this tube, the part we're testing right now, I'm pretty sure is the triode. Yeah, we're testing the triode. So this is actually two tubes in one. So one part is a triode amplifier, and it serves as the preamp for the output tube. So it generates enough voltage swing to put on the grid of the output tube for the output tube to be driven for its full range of operation. So that's its job. Get a nice swinging voltage onto the grid of the output tube. The other job of this is to detect the signal, and detect is really quite an old word. It's better to say rectify the output of the IF. That's much more explanatory as to what it's doing. So it takes the output of the IF stages, which is a strong oscillating signal at 455 kilohertz, rectifies it and then the rectified result, it's pretty easy to recover the audio signal that's embedded in the RF signal that's coming out of the IF. So that's a interesting way of looking at it. Okay, here we go. Any shorts? No shorts. This one, we should find it come up. It should come up to 780, a little lower than the other one, about here, not too far up the scale. Another weak one. Whoops. Why so weak? So let's vary the bias a bit. Look, it makes almost not make any difference at all where that's set. And we'll vary this one. And not going to get it all the way up to the good, that's for sure. So another good. So another weak one. Let's do the other test just for fun. One of the things, so there's a couple things that go wrong with tubes. There are three basic things going wrong with a vacuum tube. Three or four, I guess. Well, maybe 5 or 6. But one of them is burned out heater, kills the tube. Another one is a short developing inside the tube, makes the tube dangerous to use, a killer tube. And the last one is a worn out cathode, where the surface material on the cathode has ablated through use, particularly abusive use if it's running a little extra hot for some reason. Slowly over time, the cathode wears out. And the result of that is a steadily weakening tube. It just gets weaker and weaker and weaker. Now this tube is a 2-part tube, so we already know that the triode is weak. It would be proper to suspect the cathode is worn out in this tube. If that's the case, then the diode should show up bad too, because I think they use the very same cathode. I think there's only one cathode in here. Could I be wrong? Oh yeah, you better believe it. So we're going to change the settings here. I think I better pull it out when I do this. Q7. Okay, so that doesn't matter, that doesn't matter. 2703P. 2703P. 0610, these stay the same. Switch this to 48. And we change the plate attachment down to here. A, setting A, has a plate 1 and a plate 2. So there's a P1 and a P2 switch. So plate 1, plate 2. So we're going to do 2 tests. Put them back in. In this case, it's not a number on the scale. It's a range that's marked by 2 little indicators here, which you probably can't really make out. Rectifiers up here, diodes here. So if it gets above my finger, it's good. It only has to get above my finger here. Okay, check for shorts. Again, always check for shorts. Part of that is protecting your tube tester. You do not want to test a shorted tube. This time we're pushing this button, rectifier and diodes, and we're watching. She's right up there. And we test the other side. Right up there too. So maybe what I said wasn't true. Maybe there is more than one cathode in here. And the amplifier cathode is weak. Now the amplifier cathode is amplifying the audio. The audio is weak. The amplifier is weak. This guy's got to be implicated in this. Okay, so I got to get another, whoops, go back there. Got to get another 6Q7 out and see what happens there. Now I think I have a box labeled 6Q7. Do I? Maybe not. 6SQ7. 6SQ7 is the later version of the 6Q7, where they stopped doing this and attached the grid to one of the pins down here. And so it became, this is double-ended, and it became single-ended. That's where the S comes from. 6SQ7 is a 6Q7 single-ended. 6 single-ended Q7 is what the S is. Okay. It's hard to make sense of the labeling on vacuum tubes, but there certainly is a historical attempt, historical in the sense that the attempts changed over time, to make sense of those numbers, to put something meaningful into them. So, okay, so I got to find a 6Q7 to stick in there. I'll have to hunt that down. So if you're like me, you've been doing this work for a while, you've probably collected some vacuum tubes. I have managed to collect a lot of vacuum tubes without much effort either. So this is a portion of my collection. This is the most active part. It contains tubes that I commonly use here in the shop, so I have all this in here. You can see there's a couple different storage systems. Just ignore all these wires here. I have these tubs. I have these things. I don't know what to call them. Trays. Well, I have a couple other systems too. Why is my camera falling over here? I have a couple other storage systems too. So here's the problem, right? You get a bunch of stuff. Doesn't have to be vacuum tubes. Could be anything. And you collect it and you sort it all out and you put it in containers and all that kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden you've got new additions. You've got a box of, in this case, vacuum tubes I got from somewhere, let's say. How am I going to work them into this? It becomes very difficult. At some point, the trays become full. The boxes become full. So what ends up happening is you get more and more storage systems and you start losing control, and total control. So to keep control of this wild collection that I have, of which you're only looking at a portion of it here, I maintain a spreadsheet. I'm going to show you that spreadsheet. This is stuff I don't normally put on my videos, but I'm going to this time. So let's take a look at my spreadsheet here. So it's just a Google spreadsheet, so I have a number of columns here. You notice I have many tabs down here for things I've attempted to keep track of, and for better or for worse, but I have a main list. This list here is a list of tubes I got off the internet from somewhere that looked like it was a complete list of all the tubes ever made. It's not, but it's close. So I put this list in here, and then if I have one of them, like let's look at this one. 6ME7. Well, what is that? I got no idea. I don't think this would ever be of interest to me. But I have one. It's located in bag 23. So, bag 23. Well, you got to go through 23. Why are you going to do that? So, I have a cat at my door. I need to keep going here and just ignore him. The bag 23 would be found in a plastic container that's labeled bags 20 to 29. And that plastic container is under my bench here somewhere. We could find it. Could pull it out, open the container. In there would be 10 or so plastic bags. One of them would be numbered 23. I'd open a 23 bag, and in there I would find a 6ME7. But I'd do a little bit of work digging through a bag of maybe 10 to 15 tubes. But it's a lot better than digging through a box of 1,000 tubes. Plus, I know this tube works. It's passed the test. That's how it got into this list. Okay, so we look at 6Q7 down here. So I only have 3 of them. I'm really kind of blown away by that. I kind of expectation I'd have more than 3. I have 3 of them, and they are located in a box called Cabin 2. Now, why would I call a box Cabin 2? Because the guy I bought the tubes from lived in a cabin. Literally, a cabin in the woods. He was really roughing it. And a very interesting guy. What's he doing out there, living like a hermit? This is about a 15-minute drive from my house here, where he lives. Very remote spot. Kind of freaked me out, meeting him and all that kind of stuff. But nevertheless, I bought a pile of tubes from him that he was selling. Very old tubes. And in there were these 3Q7, 6Q7s in cabin 2. I had to go dig out box cabin 2. It was kind of buried. So I know where these boxes are in my house. So good for me. If you weren't careful with this many tubes, oh my God, you would never be able to find. We wouldn't even know what you got unless you've gone through them all and done this kind of thing. And let's just you can see here I make notes in this area here, and this is where I give them a price, and then I extend the price here. So I've got 11 tubes at $10, $110, and then at the bottom of this column is a great big number that I proudly think of, but who knows if it's really true. I mean, I got 11 6N7s. Any guy ever gonna sell 11 6N7s to somebody? Okay, so let's go back and we'll look in this box called Cabin 2, which I have here in my shop now. think I just left the video running while I did that, so whoops. Okay, now you see, cabin, oh, cabin 3. I brought the wrong box. What happened to me? Oh my gosh, let me check again. Did I do something stupid? Cabin 2. Oh, it's 3 tubes. The box should be cabin 2, but instead I brought cabin 3 because I was looking for 3 tubes, and 2 became a 3 in my head, and next thing you know. Here's what's in the box. I'll show you this one. Here we have a separate listing of what's in here. There they are. Yikes, these are all my 7-volt tubes here. Hey, I was looking for these. It's not a 7-volt tube. But that'll be in the list. 65, 6S8. 6S8, huh? Anyway, okay, I have to go and dig out the right tube. It's a frustrating thing because this is really tucked away. Okay, and how about the cat? How about I show the cat some respect at this point? What's the matter? Okay, not exactly sure what he's saying there. What are you saying? He's not entering the room, which means he wants me to leave the room. Peanut, what do you want? Okay, he's thinking about it. He's forgotten. That's what's happened. You know, cats are as bad as us. They go places and can't remember why they went there. I'm sure of it. Okay, I'm gonna go deal with the cat, and then I'll come back with cabin box number 2. Right. Okay, I've got cabin 2 here. These are tubes I don't expect to go into very often, so I have them stored in an inconvenient location. So we're looking for, what are we looking for? We're looking for a 6Q7. I don't see any here. Well, after demonstrating my fantastic storage system, that's a 37. There's some very 6K8. What's happened? Well, this is a bit of a problem, isn't it? It didn't show up in here. Oh my gosh. We have system failure here, big time. Because if I don't find them here, where are they? Oh my gosh. K7. Well, okay. That's nothing like having a live video here to embarrass yourself with. But, well, plus it has to have a grid cap on it, so I should be able to spot it if it exists. Sometimes the labels on the boxes are wrong. Not too often in this box, though. 6R7. 6R7. I've never heard of a 6R7 before. Okay, this is a disaster. This is a complete disaster of the situation here. You know what? I have a vague memory that I had 2 boxes marked 2 during previous periods of confusion. I think maybe I got another cabin 2 box. Sure enough, I've got another box labeled cabin 2. This one here, cabin 2. How that happened? Oh, it's me involved. That's how it happened. Let's stick it in here. looking for 6SQ7 right there. So there's 3 of them in here. Now we started looking. Just turn this way. A little easier to look at. 6Q7. 6Q7 right here. There should be 2 more than in here somewhere, but I've got one. One's enough for now. Let's try it out. 6Q7. This appears to be in a brand new box. Standard brand. I think this is just a box. Oh, that's why they put that there. Okay. This could be a brand new tube, never used, or it could be a high mileage tube, or it could be, who knows. Come up this way. You see dirt along the bottom edge here, even though it's cleaned up a little bit. I think this is the second time around too. 6Q7, no doubt about it. Okay, 6Q7, we're still on the 6Q7, we're on the diode settings. So we're doing the diode test first. Now, I tested some of these tubes that I got from the cabin man, and every one I tested was good, and he told me every tube he was telling me was good. He sold me a couple hundred tubes for not much money, and some of those tubes are really very valuable. So I've got a couple of collector's items which I should show at some point. Okay, so now we're doing the diode test first. Any shorts? No shorts. Diode test. You just got to get it above my finger. She's a good one. And the other plate. Whoa! It's just raring to go. Why would the 2 plates be different? My guess, because this was in a radio that only used one of the diodes. The other diode was never used. So one has wear on it, the other one doesn't. That's my guess. Now we're going to want to flip to the triode side of things. Triode side of things. 6Q7. So we got a signal level 1. 23L. 27300. 27300. 0610 30. Alright, 6Q7. So easy to start looking at the wrong line in these roll charts. And then F, you see, that's why I keep my finger right on the spot here. F, group cap. In you go. So in my mind, if the radio's output volume is low, then the triode would be a possible cause. A weak triode, and the original tube had a weak triode. How about this one? Looking for shorts. Down there. Pushing the transconductance button and expecting 780. Well, that's 1,000. That's 500. So it's right in the middle. Right there. Holy smokes! Put that tube in the radio. Hurry. Quick. Quickly, man. Put that tube in the radio. This is a beauty. Ready for another test. Okay, still have just the sort of center conductor of my antenna coming here. I don't have the ground on, that's what I want to say. Here we go again. Let me just move these tubes here before I step on them. Okay, here we go. Power on. volume down. Band broadcast band rather. And we're giving it the full voltage today. Oh, I've got to turn down a bit. It's only 103. Let's put it up where it should be. Up around 115, somewhere up around there. Okay, that's good enough. A lot more volume. Lots more volume. There's a dirty spot in the volume control. You couldn't even hear that last time. Okay, tuning. Beautiful. That's 820 out of Hamilton. With somebody's engine running. Now we'll go short wave. Still got to turn it right up to hear any atmospheric noise. Don't fade out.
Very solemn times. The world is hovering on the brink of disaster. Catastrophic events will soon take place that will bring this age to a close and usher in the next. In his great mercy, Yahweh has revealed through prophecy what the future holds. He tells a series of events, each one worse than the last, that will devastate the earth. The world's food supplies will be decimated. Famine and its accompanying pestilence will result. The earth's fresh water supplies will also be affected. Revelation 9 reveals that demons...
Well, that's not good news. Trying to pick up WWV at 10 megahertz. The volume is turned full though. We're still not getting the kind of volume we would expect. So, you know, this receiver cannot receive single sideband signals. It can't produce tone. So that's probably what we're hearing here is a single sideband signal. Hard to say. Not somebody talking, that's for sure. Tricky to tune. That's full volume though. Well, it's certainly better than it was. I wonder if this guy needs a realignment. Oh my gosh. Ooh, what happened there? Something came and went pretty quick. Okay, still hear this. Oh, the volume's going up and down.
Yeah. Sometimes you stand in awe in the presence of the last day prophet. But this prophet only has credibility because he speaks about the Almighty God, the omnipotent one, the Emmanuel.
So if you live in Canada, you experience the United States very strongly, even on shortwave. If you live in other parts of the world, maybe the United States isn't bearing down on you so much as it is here in Canada. I mean, sometimes I feel like the United States is kind of leaning over the border. And it kind of is. All these radio signals come up from the United States. Of course, the shortwave goes all over the world, but so I think this radio could do a lot better. I have the volume up full. I can barely hear some stuff there. I think if the radio were working properly, we would hear this. We should hear the hiss. Some kind of interference. Interesting how they should come out of nothing.
For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that
For God so loved... I'm going to make a comment here. Close your ears if you're religious. God so loved the world that he gave his only Son to die for our sins. Well, how the hell does that work? Like, how does that work? Somebody died like 2,000 years ago, and the magic extends all the way to here. Why did he have to die? Why didn't God just go like that? What's this whole thing about? It doesn't make sense, you see. But I guess if you hear it your whole life, you know, from the time you're a young child, like me. Funny thing is, somehow I was resistant to it. I had a religious upbringing. Not a super religious upbringing. My parents were churchgoers, so we went to church. But God didn't exist outside of church for us. Never talked about, you know. Bible never touched in my house. So I call my parents churchgoers. And I was given all the base, you know, Sunday school, all that stuff. I just never ever bought into any of it. Never. I could get a copyright hit on that. So, okay. Still weak. Well, we have more tubes to check. I think it makes sense to just carry on testing tubes because, you know, for instance, this tube is very important for the owl. Hot bugger. This tube is very important for producing strong output. Maybe this one's weak now. Maybe I put a whole pile of weak tubes in this radio and gave it to my friend. Okay, if I had to guess, I would guess this is a 6K7. 6K7. Not a hard guess, I have to be honest with you. Okay. 6K7, eh? Okay, so I'll set this up here. 6K7. 6.3, signal level 2, 33L, 33 low, 17342, 17342, 0610, 0610, 43, D. Okay, I'm going to double check. 6K7, 6.3, signal level 2, 33L, 17342, 17342, 0610, 43, D. Good to go. Yeah, maybe I did that. I loaded this radio up with a bunch of sick tubes and sent it off to my buddy. Shame on me. I wonder if back when I worked on this radio, if the weakness was apparent at the end of my work. Probably was, you know. Double shame on me. Okay, 6K7, 1070. So 1070 is just above the 1000 mark here. Is what we're hoping for. Here we go. Oh, it's another weak one. Sensitivity check. Doesn't make any difference. Made a minimal difference. So there's no way that's going up to. Yeah. Radio full of weak tubes. Okay, 6K7. Hopefully I can find one of those pretty easily. So I'm off to hunt down a 6K7. Well, as it turns out, I've got so many of these, so I've got a container that's committed to just 6SK7 and 6K7s. 6K7s have the grid cap on the top, like this. 6K7 right there, right there. Okay, we'll just grab one and try it. This one has a number on it, number 9. So this is, you can see these are numbered. I was testing them for a while. I was keeping track of the test results per tube, but in the end, that just became too onerous. 6K7, here you go. Now the only 6K7, Jim, don't get confused. Okay, I was getting confused there. Now, shorts? No. Mr. 6K7 again, just above the 1000, and you're, look at that. Okay, this guy's going to go in. He's going in. I'm going to rush him in there. Now I have to go back and correct my, after I do this, I have to go back and correct my listing. I have to do the paperwork to keep my inventory correct. It's really a big hassle. It's like, there's no fun in doing this, keeping a record. Okay, you're going in. I don't enjoy the office work. Okay, we're all set for another test. Is this the one? So you see, it's not one tube causing this problem. It's a series of weaknesses adding up to what we got. But I shouldn't be talking. Volume down, power's on. Here we go. We're cooking. And we're cooking this radio at 119 volts. What will you do this time, Mr. Radio? Okay. Volume up. On the broadcast band, we're getting atmospheric noise or interference at a low volume level. Well, might as well check out the station. You know what's happened? The dial has moved. This is 860. It was appearing right around 860. Now it's on 920. So changing that last tube changed the alignment of the radio. Lots of volume now. Okay, short wave. Okay, short wave. Okay, we're getting some atmospherics now. We couldn't hear any of that before. Excellent. Now let's get the loud guy here. That's not the loud guy.
Now you have to understand that there were plenty of apostolic Christians, especially in the East, that were still using the biblical calendar.
Lots more volume.
Immediately protested the decree.
Good.
Yeah, it was rather high-handed of a handful of bishops.
So again, this station is the strongest station I get at my house during the day by a long shot. It's very powerful.
Now he wrote a letter sent to Victor, the Bishop of Rome, in which he declared his firm belief in continuing to use the biblical calendar.
Okay. This time of day, we'd expect to be receiving up in this area. WWV anywhere? I don't think so. Wouldn't expect to pick this up. When we go up here, we should start picking up more stuff. You can still hear the atmospheric noise, but I gotta turn the volume right up.
Unos cuantos meses antes, que yo no fui fundador, digamos, a mí me invitaron para hacer Matraca, que es una publicación de toque.
So there's a hum that's coming in as I tune in stations. I don't know if you can hear it or not.
Un gráfico.
No hum.
Yo ya su
Hum.
hora ya había.
I'm concerned, Pam, because I
No hum here.
Tangle themselves over the lid and through the fingertips. Your thoughts are good, but they're entangled. They've never been put down.
Your thoughts are good, but they're entangled. Oh.
Un segundo ahí. Él supongo que tenía idea. Hacía tiempo, lo que pasa es que necesitaba.
Ridiculous lifestyle. I mean by that, genuine New Testament Christianity.
You're entangled. So this is ham radio here. I think I tried catching this last time, didn't I? Couldn't. This is FT8. There's so much of it, it self-modulates. I don't know what to say about that. I mean, it's single sideband. We shouldn't really be hearing tones, but there's so much. Self-modulate doesn't make sense. It's receiving good.
If the church is worth the soul in terms of doctrine, if the church is not compromising with doctrine, and we'll talk about some of the churches that Jesus talked about and how he chastised them, criticized them, because they had compromised the doctrine.
Huh? Jesus complaining about churches? Ooh, strong.
They're all parts of the church, so they really
Hey, same guy.
who were the pastors.
Now, a little while ago, the radio the output went up and down. What happened to that?
Mary,
Hasn't done it since.
natural mother, is very
Very hard to tune. Okay, I might get something up here. Volume's full now. FT8, ham radio. No broadcast signals. FT8. Yeah, no broadcast to pick up there. Volume up full by the time I got there. So, okay, we know changing the tube appears to have caused a realignment issue in the radio. So perhaps the problem now is more alignment than anything else. But what do we got? We got one tube left. I mean, I'd be very disappointing if I didn't test that tube too. So we're going to do that next. Give this guy. I mean, if I really did load it up with bad tubes, that one's bad too. And I did not do that. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that. Okay, I think things have cooled off now. A little bit of snow falling outside. So we have about a foot of snow on the ground, mostly from yesterday. 6K8. And my next stop after doing this is plowing out my driveway again with my snow blower. Okay, 6K8. 6K8. Right there. Signal level 2. 20L. 20 low. 27345. 27345. 27345. 0610. 43. C. Don't want to get that wrong. Get that wrong, bad things happen. Okay, here we go. Hey, what's going on here? My camera's tip. My camera's leaving. There. One of the leg struts was slipping. There we go. 6K8 out of the radio. It is supposed to 6K8. $780. So 780 gains is going to be right around here. No shorts. How you doing? Oh, see, this guy's doing just fine. Way up above the. Okay, so this one's not a problem. So see, I did not fill a radio with bad tubes and give it to a friend. So, still seems a little weak to me. I mean, it's serviceable, it's working. AM's working fairly good. Alignment might be the problem. I changed this tube, and then the radio seemed to be receiving in a different place on the dial. So receiving in a different place on the dial kind of suggests a local oscillator frequency changed, but that's dependent on this tube, the local oscillator frequency. So how this one would influence that, I'm not sure, but it looks like some alignment work is in order. So maybe tomorrow we'll take a look at that. That'd be a good idea. I could do a lot of alignment. I don't have to bring this out of the cabinet. Thumbs up on that. It's got an adjustment here. I can reach with my hand. It's got one here, and the rest are through here. And then we've got the IF. So maybe I have to bring it out because I'm gonna have to get up underneath these IF cans. Okay, that's what'll have to happen. Okay, well that's for tomorrow. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see if we can get this guy just screaming tomorrow. See ya.